Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on...
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Tonight, we wind up Week 5 with a good battle between the Cleveland Browns and the San Francisco 49ers. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Well, where do you find that one in the playbook, Charles?
You don't. You absolutely don't. And sometimes what happens is guys want to make a big play, and they turn it into a really bad one. Sometimes you're best just to cut your losses and go down. I hope we don't see another play like that. I'll guarantee you the offensive coordinator.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Gets this one left side to Pettis. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On is the rookie 4th-rounder Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Back deep to return is Duke Johnson. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns now for their first drive. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native at quarterback. It's Baker Mayfield.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Now Mayfield, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt, and he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Hey, alert, 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 alert. Get ready, get ready. Hey, high 7. My touch.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
We got this.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and come back sharply inside, not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. Well, look now at our starting defense, currently #1 in the NFL against the run.
And I know, just like me, you're fired up about this one because this is the irresistible object and the immovable force. They're going head-to-head, #1 versus #1. I've talked about that running backs renaissance for a while. Can they slow these guys down? Where's my helmet? I want to play.
Geez, you are fired up. Something's got to give.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On 2nd down, it's Hunt. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Right there.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He finds Beckham, complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? The Browns' passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
11 more on that one and another first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this has started.
Absolutely. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. D Ford. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Well, no takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there, creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
This will be fielded at the 6. Muscling free near the 40. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, 49ers. Jarek McKinnon. 49ers have now taken the lead.
Well, partner, anytime you see a big-time kickoff return, especially one that ends up in the end zone for a touchdown, that's probably the most exciting 10 seconds in the great game of football.
I think it was our friend Ed Brady that told us that one day. So he took that one at the 6, returned it all the way to the end zone. An electric return it was, 94 yards to the house. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
We play to win. Let's go!
The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Hey, Delta. Bring it.
Mayfield looks to throw, and that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Coleman, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here we go.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, watch the screen. Get Hunt.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Hey, alert! Hey, Alpha!
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Over the middle to Beckham. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Mayfield being chased out left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
54.
Here's Mayfield. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. But likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. Looking ahead to Week 6 of the NFL, some big games next weekend, including the first London game of the year, Panthers and Bucks. They'll do battle in the UK. And back home, it all starts Thursday night with one that a lot of folks have circled on the calendar, the Giants and the Patriots. The Pats maybe still stinging from the losses, a Super Bowl 42 and 46 at the hands of the Giants. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Watch the whip.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Deep ball for Goodwin. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Well, I love watching Goodwin play. Of course, everybody... knows the story of him being an Olympian. He's a long jumper,
yes,
right?
Yes.
But you know that he has that athleticism, that big playability.
He certainly does. And not only was he an Olympian as a long jumper, married to a sprinter. How about that for speed in one family? And I love his end zone celebrations now. When he does go deep and beat someone for a touchdown, now he does the long jump as his celebration. Pretty cool deal.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Mayfield on first down. And the Niners just get there and bring him down. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And Callaway taking it in left side. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
They'll let it go deep for Beckham. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Kirksey. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure it out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted. A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy...
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll begin the drive with Hunt, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
Recon, 132-5.
On 2nd down now, it's Hunt. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
If it's not one guy, it's another with this defense. I mean, this is the #1 unit against the rush in the entire NFL. They know how to cover for each other, and yeah, they've got great players. They also have very dependable players, too.
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On 3rd down, Mayfield. Able to find Harris, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That goes for a gain of 31. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Real.
On second down, it's Hunt. And he'll go down at the 28. That one a first down pickup of 8.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now it's Hunt. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. Throw left side complete. That's good one. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
You better be afraid of me.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Now this one complete downfield on the left side, and brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From just shy of midfield, Mayfield, and past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 16 yards, a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Throwing on second and long. Mayfield. It's caught. Beckham. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Seibert's kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football. Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And taken right on the 30. A very good return that time. 18 yards. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. At the end of last season, right? All the off-season preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. On second and 9, Mayfield. Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Over to Landry on the bubble screen. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up fourth down. And not what you're looking to do on 3rd and 1, completing the pass, but going backward.
I have zero explanation for that because 3rd and 1, you just figure snap, throw, first down, right? Easy play. But end up losing yardage on it. That's hard to account for.
All day, every day, any day.
Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. He's going to loft one deep left side, and this is caught inside the 5. And with 1 second left, they get the timeout And they'll have a chance to kick the field goal before intermission. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Seibert able to knock this one through. And that will do it for this first half. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
Watch us slide.
They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Hunt. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Right there, 54, right there. I got.
Third and long for Mayfield. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. So it appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They're running it.
They go play action here on first down. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
25 yards that time.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his legs.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A gain of 6 there on first.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
It's a gain of 1 yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
On 2nd down now. It's Coleman. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And Matthews has it right side. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. CD, you know there were quite a few Bears fans back in January saying, why didn't we hold on to that Robbie Gould guy?
Well, it's a legitimate question. 33 of 34 for San Francisco in 2018. The crazy stat of the year, he missed more extra points, 2, than he did field goals, 1, in the 2018 season.
Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. From the 41, Mayfield. Now Mayfield lost the football. But he'll take this back down inside the 20.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Joe Schobert, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. If you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Kevin Coleman, his second touchdown on the season. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Gold with the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On the run, this is Hunt. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
Get out the field, defense. Hey, nice 7.
From just shy of midfield, Mayfield. He finds his target, Beckham. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On second down, Johnson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front, because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They'll run with Chubb. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about...
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Taking it in from 4 yards out, and the Browns get a score closer. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
So 3rd and goal, and the 49er faithful making some noise for their defense.
Hey, alert!
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just haven't been able to punch it in until that point. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Watch the flag!
On 1st down, Garoppolo got his man complete over the middle. It's Goodwin. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
It's our time. It's our time.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, we're not able to find any yardage on that one.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Undercrush.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And that's incomplete. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. Baker Mayfield, as a rookie, 3 times he led the Browns back to victory in the 4th quarter. What can he do here in year number 2? On 1st and 10, Mayfield to the right side, and he's got Landry complete. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On 2nd down, it's Hunt, and an alley to run. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 16 yards, a 1st down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Mayfield tosses one complete to Landry, and they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, you need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Let's go. Regular.
Mayfield on 3rd and 2. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And he pushes forward, but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the...
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Duke Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns have cut it back within a score. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and then converted a second time for 6 points.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down today, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount. He got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. Gets this one left side to Pettis. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
On second down now, it's Coleman, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it's going to be third down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, it's a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Now Mayfield and the Browns. Down 27-21, 2 minutes, 17 seconds to go. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Getting the sack to 227-pound linebacker Quan Alexander. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. 54's Mike. 54's Mike.
Fourth down, Mayfield. Able to find Harris, complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Mike 54. Mike 50. Hey, Delta. Hey, let's pin the mirrors back and go full street. Mike 54. Mike 54. Mike 54. I got you. I got you. Hey, alert, alert. Alert, alert. Right there, right there. 54 Mike. That's right. Hey, Alpha. Hurry, hurry. 54 Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch that.
Now Mayfield on fourth down. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Nick Bosa. And my goodness, that means this next drive will begin 4 yards from the end zone already.